Welcome, race fans, to Lime Rock Circuit for another thrilling Thursday evening of super sprint racing.
It's fantastic to be back at this iconic track. You always know you're in for some incredibly close racing here. It's relentless.
Absolutely, Sky. This is event 3 of our 5-event championship, and with race 9 of 20 about to get underway, the battle for vital points is truly heating up.
We've seen some incredible drives already this evening. Every point counts, not just for the overall championship, but for those crucial class battles too, with Pro-Am and AM drivers pushing hard.
Indeed. John Estrop leads the way in the overall standings, but John Clark is right there, just 7 points adrift. And then we have Joel Lemrich, the top AM driver, holding a fantastic third overall.
It shows the depth of talent across all classes. From my time racing here, I know you can never count anyone out at Lime Rock. It's a short lap, but deceptively challenging.
Get ready for another 12 minutes plus 1 lap of flat-out action. Elliot Norton leads the field away from pole position. A great showing from the Pro-Am driver.
He really nailed that qualifying lap. Starting from the front here at Lime Rock is a huge advantage, especially with how quickly turn 1 arrives.
And alongside him, Jareth Hallam, an AM driver, getting a fantastic start from the front row. Daniel Cochise and Greg Sabo round out the top 4, a strong contingent of AM class drivers leading the charge.
It's fascinating to see some of our championship frontrunners a little further back. John Clark, second in the overall standings, starts from 9th, and Mac McFarquhar, with 2 wins this season, is back in 11th.
They'll certainly be looking to make up ground quickly in these early laps to stay in contention for those top points.
Absolutely. Lime Rock is a tough track to pass on, so a strong first few corners will be critical for them to climb through the field.
And the lights are out. We are green at Lime Rock.
A fantastic getaway from Elliot Norton. He leads into turn 1.
Tim Weller, our AM class winner from an earlier event, has already been busy in these opening laps.
He had a brief drop in position, but quickly fought back, showing that determination. We know he has to regain that track position.
John Clark, second in the championship, is already making moves. He's passed Rich Snape to climb into 8th position.
That's what you expect from a championship contender, making up places early. Every position gained is vital on this short circuit.
Mac McFarquhar, our 2-time race winner this season, is on the charge. He's just moved up into 10th place.
He's definitely found his rhythm now, and with that ballast, he's showing why he's already taken 2 victories.
Rich Snape has just made a strong move, regaining a position from John Clark. He's up into 8th.
Oh, contact. Mac McFarquhar and Rich Snape are involved. McFarquhar appears to have punted Snape.
Snape has lost out significantly there, dropping multiple positions after that incident. That's a huge blow to his race.
He's really plummeting down the order. The pack is swarming past John Buntakis, Jimmy Lindo, Neil Constableberry, all through.
Phil Bodkin and Ryan Lim also clear Snape now. What a devastating sequence of events for the number 85 car. We've got an incident. Contact between John Buntakis and Neil Constableberry.
They've come together quite hard. Both cars involved in a tangle there.
Another incident involving Mac McFarquhar. He's rear-ended David Constableberry.
Max seems to be having a busy race with these incidents. It's a tight circuit, but you have to be so precise with braking here.
David Constableberry is losing ground. Mac McFarquhar has just gone past him for 6.
And now, Tim Weller also finds a way past. David's dropped a couple of spots rapidly in that sequence.
Tim Weller is under pressure from Mac McFarquhar, and McFarquhar gets past him.
But Weller fights back immediately. That's excellent awareness and a swift countermove to regain the position.
Now it's David Constableberry looking for a way past Tim Weller.
Constableberry squeezes through for the spot.
No, Weller isn't giving up. He's lunged back and retaken the position.
That's a classic Lime Rock battle right there. Nose to tail, swapping places lap after lap.
Collision. Phil Bodkin and Jimmy Lindo have made contact.
Oh, a coming together for both AM class drivers. That looked quite heavy.
And it's Elliot Norton who crosses the line to take the victory here at Lime Rock. What a drive from pole position.
He drove a flawless race from the front, never really putting a wheel wrong. A truly dominant performance from the Pro-Am driver.
What a superb super sprint race we've just witnessed here at Lime Rock. Elliot Norton securing a fantastic win from pole.
It was a chaotic race at times, especially in the mid-pack. We saw some incredible overtakes and plenty of incidents that shuffled the order.
Indeed, the class battles were intense throughout. Points are crucial tonight, with 11 races still remaining in this championship. Every single one counts.
Absolutely. The drivers will be analyzing this one hard before the next race later this evening. This championship is far from decided.
Welcome back to Lime Rock Circuit for race 10 of the Super Sprint Championship. After that last thrilling encounter, the championship standings have certainly seen some movement.
They absolutely have. Elliot Norton's win has significantly boosted his points, giving him his first victory and solidifying his spot. And look at Chris Stokes and Daniel Cochise.
Indeed, Stokes has made a massive jump up to 9th overall from 13th. And Cochise, too, rocketing 4 places into the top 10.
Those are huge gains for the Pro-Am and AM class drivers. Every point really does matter, and it shows the impact of a strong finish. This championship is still very much alive.
Now this is going to be interesting. It's a reverse grid race, meaning we've got some very different names leading the field into turn 1.
This format always shakes things up. The drivers who had a tougher time in the previous race get a chance to start from the front, while the faster cars will have to fight through.
Ryan Lim, an AM class driver, takes pole position, a fantastic opportunity for him to score some big points. And alongside him, Rich Snape, who had such a difficult last race, starts in second.
Snape, 4th in the overall standings, will be looking to capitalize on that front row start. He'll want to get away cleanly and avoid any early trouble this time.
Further back, we see our previous race winner Elliot Norton down in 14th, and championship leader John Clark starting from 15th. They've got a lot of work ahead of them.
It's a completely different challenge. You've got to be patient but aggressive finding those gaps without taking too many risks in the opening laps. It's a real test of racecraft.
And the lights are out. Race 10 is go at Lime Rock.
Ryan Lim gets a good launch, holding the lead into the first corner.
Jareth Hallam, starting from 11th, is already making his presence felt, passing Tim Weller.
He's an AM driver who had a strong qualifying last race. He'll be keen to push forward and maximize this reverse grid opportunity.
Rich Snape has made a great move. He's passed Ryan Lim to take the lead in this reverse grid race.
Fantastic drive from Snape, who's looking to put the disappointment of the last race behind him. He's seizing this chance.
Elliot Norton, our previous race winner, is carving his way through the field. He's just dispatched Daniel Cochise and Chris Stokes.
He's showing why he's a race winner. Coming from 14th on a tight track like Lime Rock, you have to be precise and opportunistic.
John Clark is on the move, pushing past Neil Constable-Berry.
He's really working hard to make up ground. Now he's side by side with David Constable-Berry.
And he's through along with Jareth Hallam and Chris Stokes. They're all piling through. Chris Stokes and Jareth Hallam are battling intensely for position.
And contact between them. Stokes turns in on Hallam, a warning from the stewards.
Stokes has lost a couple of positions there, with Daniel Cochise and Tim Weller both capitalizing. Contact between John Boontakis and John Clark. They've come together.
And Clark manages to get past Boontakis despite the contact. A tough break for Boontakis.
Greg Sabo and David Constable-Berry are battling wheel to wheel, and there's contact.
Constable-Berry attempts to pass into a closing gap and makes contact with Sabo. The stewards are noting that one.
Mac McFarquhar has found a way past Jareth Hallam, moving into 10th.
He's been quiet for a while, but now he's making a move. He'll want to claw back some points after a difficult first race.
Neil Constable-Berry has made a great move, getting past Mac McFarquhar.
Rich Snape has dropped back, with Constable-Berry, McFarquhar, and Jareth Hallam all going through.
McFarquhar and Constable-Berry are swapping places, a really intense battle there.
Oh, contact again. McFarquhar carries too much speed and forces Constable very wide.
It's Jimmy Lindo who takes the checkered flag. An incredible victory in the reverse grid race.
What a drive from the AM class driver, starting from 5th and navigating that chaos to claim the win. Absolutely brilliant.
Elliot Norton crosses the line in 2nd place. A stunning recovery drive from 14th on the grid.
That shows the pace and skill of the previous race winner. To climb that many spots on this circuit is truly impressive.
And John Clark rounds out the podium in 3rd. Another fantastic recovery from the championship contender.
From 15th to 3rd, that's a massive points haul for Clark and keeps him firmly in the hunt for the overall title.
What a reverse grid race that was. Jimmy Lindo with an absolutely sensational win from 5th on the grid.
And the recovery drives from Elliott Norton and John Clark coming through the field from 14th and 15th to grab 2nd and 3rd were just incredible. They really fought hard for those championship points.
Mac McFarquhar had a very tough race with multiple incidents impacting his position. And Rich Snape, who started well, ultimately fell back after being swallowed by the faster cars.
It just shows how challenging Lime Rock can be, especially with the reverse grid throwing a different dynamic into the mix. Plenty to talk about from that one.
Welcome back for race 11. After that incredible reverse grid race, the championship table looks very interesting indeed.
It certainly does, Hal. Elliott Norton's 2nd place finish in that race has rocketed him up to 4th overall, now tied with Tim Weller, who also climbed the standings.
And look at Jimmy Lindo. His fantastic win has seen him make a huge jump, moving up 3 places into 11th overall in the championship.
On the flip side, Rich Snape has dropped a couple of places, and Mac McFarquhar also lost ground after a challenging race with those incidents. The battle is just getting hotter.
Jareth Hallam on pole position. What a qualifying performance from the AM driver.
Absolutely, and Jimmy Lindo, fresh off his win, lines up alongside him. This track demands precision right from the start, especially for these drivers looking to make the most of their qualifying.
Mac McFarquhar, with his 2 wins this season, is right there in 3rd, looking to bounce back from a challenging last race. Greg Sabo and David Constableberry complete the top 5.
It's great to see a mix of drivers at the sharp end. Getting away cleanly will be key for them to hold position in these early stages.
Further back, championship contender Elliott Norton starts from 6th, a good platform for him. John Clark, however, will have some work to do from 11th.
Clark will have to be aggressive but smart, knowing that every point counts now as we head into the second half of the championship. It's tough to make up ground here.
The lights are out. Race 11 is underway at Lime Rock.
Jareth Hallam gets a fantastic start and holds the lead into the first corner.
Chris Stokes, the Pro-Am driver, is making early moves, dispatching Tim Weller to gain a position.
He's really found some pace in these opening laps. He'll be keen to climb through the top 10 and score big points after his podium in race 9.
Ryan Lim, starting from 16th, is holding his own in the early chaos of this race.
It's always tough at the back in these super sprint events. You're trying to stay clean while looking for any opening.
Our streamer car at the back of the grid, holding station as the pack settles.
The main goal for them is to finish clean and collect data for the team. Every lap is valuable experience.
Mac McFarquhar is applying immense pressure to Jimmy Lindo.
And McFarquhar gets through. He takes 2nd place away from Lindo. He wants to make amends for his last race.
We've got a great battle unfolding for 7th position. Greg Sabo and Chris Stokes trading blows.
They're really going at it, wheel to wheel. Stokes gets the upper hand for now, but Sabo is fighting back.
It's back and forth. They keep swapping positions. Another exchange of positions between Greg Sabo and Chris Stokes.
This battle is relentless. Neither driver is giving an inch, showing incredible commitment.
Daniel Cochise and David Constableberry are locked in a thrilling battle for 5th.
They're constantly exchanging positions. It's so tight out there. Both drivers are pushing hard for those top spots.
Daniel Cochise has just moved past David Constableberry.
But Constableberry immediately returns the favor. What a fight for position.
Oh, contact between David Constableberry and Greg Sabo. That's going to hurt their momentum.
And Jimmy Lindo has dropped back significantly in that commotion. That's a huge loss for the race winner from last time out.
Contact between John Clark and Chris Stokes. Clark has rear-ended Stokes.
That's a penalty for John Clark. Stokes has gone off track and lost a couple of places from that hit. Tim Weller also benefiting there.
Elliott Norton crosses the line. A dominant win from the Pro-Am driver, starting 6th and taking victory.
What a fantastic drive from Norton. He's really found his stride this evening, and Jareth Hallam, the AM driver, holds on for an outstanding 2nd place. A brilliant performance for him.
Mac McFarquhar takes 3rd place. A great recovery drive from the Pro-Am driver after a challenging 2nd race.
That's a crucial podium finish for McFarquhar and much-needed points to help him climb back up the championship standings.
What a phenomenal race 11 we've witnessed at Lime Rock. Elliott Norton continues his superb form with another victory.
Jareth Hallam's second place finish was truly a standout performance from an AM driver, really pushing Norton right to the end.
We saw battles throughout the field, with drivers constantly swapping positions and some significant incidents impacting the race.
The championship points are vital tonight. With only 9 races remaining, every single point becomes even more critical for these drivers.
Welcome back to Lime Rock Circuit for our final race of the evening, Race 12 of the Super Sprint Championship.
And what a championship table we have heading into this one, Hal. Elliott Norton's second win has propelled him right to the top, now tied with John Estrap.
That is a huge story. John Clark holds on to third, still very much in contention. And Daniel Cochise has jumped into the top 8. Another AM driver making big strides.
Chris Stokes and Mac McFarquhar also making gains, both in the top 11. And Jareth Hallam, that second place finish has moved him up significantly. The points battle is going right down to the wire.
And what a grid we have for our final Super Sprint race of the evening. It's another reverse grid, meaning Ryan Lim starts from pole position.
This is a huge opportunity for Lim, who's been pushing hard all evening, and alongside him, Phil Bodkin, another AM driver, gets a fantastic chance from the front row.
Jimmy Lindo, our race 10 winner, lines up in third. John Buntakis and Neil Constable-Berry also starting strong. It's a great lineup of AM drivers at the front of the pack.
These reverse grid races are all about strategy and making the most of the clear air at the start. For these drivers, it's a golden chance to grab some significant points.
Further back, our championship co-leader Elliott Norton starts from 15th, and John Clark is in 9th. They'll have to carve their way through the field again.
Absolutely. And Mac McFarquhar in 13th will be keen to replicate his podium charge from the last race. It's going to be frantic.
The lights are out, and we are underway for the final race of the evening.
Ryan Lim gets away well, but it's a tight pack into turn 1.
Tim Weller, our 4th place driver in the championship, is immediately on the attack from 8th on the grid.
He's an AM class driver with a win this season, so he knows how to fight through traffic. He'll be looking to make up ground quickly in this final race.
Phil Bodkin is under pressure from Neil Constable-Berry, and contact between Phil Bodkin and Ryan Lim.
Oh, a penalty for Phil Bodkin. He's punted Ryan Lim. That's a very unfortunate start for the pole sitter.
That incident has really shuffled the front pack. Ryan Lim has dropped several places.
And Neil Constable-Berry has benefited, moving up to third. John Buntakis and Chris Stokes also capitalizing on the chaos.
Mac McFarquhar and David Constable-Berry are in a fierce duel for position.
They're trading blows, each trying to find a way past. McFarquhar gets ahead, but Constable-Berry is right back on his tail.
Neil Constable-Berry has lost a position to John Clark, but there's contact between them.
Oh, an unsafe rejoin from Constable-Berry, causing contact with Clark, a penalty for him, and Clark is losing a lot of positions from that hit.
He's dropped like a stone down the order, colliding with the barriers. This is a disaster for John Clark's championship hopes. Elliott Norton has made a move, getting past Neil Constable-Berry.
Norton is quietly making his way through the field. He's been so consistent this evening, always finding a way to gain positions.
Chris Stokes is off into the barriers. That's going to cost him dearly.
He's had a rough couple of races. Tim Weller moves past him. This is tough for the Pro-Am driver.
And McFarquhar and Daniel Cochise also get past Stokes. He's dropping down the order rapidly. Greg Sabo has just found a way past Neil Constable-Berry.
But Sabo is now losing places rapidly. Jareth Hallam and Neil Constable-Berry both get back past him.
David Constable-Berry and Phil Bodkin also get past Sabo as he crashes into the barriers. And John Clark also passes him. Jareth Hallam and Neil Constable-Berry are in a tussle for 9th position.
Constable-Berry gets the better of him. But then David Constable-Berry also gets involved.
Contact between David Constable-Berry and Jareth Hallam. A warning for Constable-Berry for turning in.
Jareth Hallam is now losing more positions. Neil Constable-Berry and Phil Bodkin both moving ahead.
Jimmy Lindo takes the checkered flag, his second win of the evening. What a performance from the AM driver.
Absolutely incredible. From third on the grid to another victory. John Buntakis finishes second, a fantastic result for him from 5th.
And Tim Weller completes the podium in 3rd. A brilliant recovery from 8th for the AM class driver.
What a way to end the event. 3 AM drivers on the podium, truly showing the depth of talent in that class.
What an absolutely sensational final race to cap off Event 3 here at Lime Rock Circuit. Jimmy Lindo with his second win of the evening.
It was an incredibly dramatic race, especially for John Clark, who had that big incident that sent him plummeting down the order. That's a major blow to his championship hopes.
Elliott Norton managed to climb through the field despite starting 15th, securing vital points to stay tied for the championship lead. Chris Stokes also had a tough race.
Overall, a massive evening for the championship. With only 8 races left, every point is going to be fiercely contested. We've seen some fantastic AM and Pro-Am performances tonight.
And that wraps up our incredible Thursday evening of super sprint racing here at Lime Rock Circuit. What a night of championship drama.
The championship table has truly been shaken up, Hal. We've seen some huge shifts on this intense circuit.
Indeed. Elliott Norton, who started this event in 8th overall, now finds himself tied for the championship lead. A truly sensational performance.
And Jimmy Lindo from 15th to a joint 7th, securing 3 wins tonight. The AM drivers really making their mark. This championship is wide open with only 8 races left.